goddess from Tatiana, who is our member, we can move on to the end of the same book. It means we have to move to the project number 10, which should somehow use something outside of the traditional tools like body language, eye contact, composition. It should touch also our soul. So when we listen to the speaker who prepared for his speech number 10, we will watch if the assignment was met with Bonomi, who will be here, did his utmost. We will listen to the speech, The Scholar Barriers, by István Szabó.
Dear fellow Toastmasters, imagine that you are going down the road in the city with your motorbike. You are going too fast, and you was out in the previous evening, so your head is full of distracting thoughts and anger. You are going on the road, and in one moment the traffic light changes to amber, and you push more gas. You want to go through the junction. You are in a hurry. You want to get to somewhere in time. And you don't see, but from the right side of the junction, a car is doing the same. It's too late to stop, and you cannot avoid the accident. You lose your conscience, and you get up in the next day in a hospital. The doctor comes to you and tells you that your leg is broken into 17 parts, and you will never be able to walk again like an average man. This is what happens to a gymnast in the movie of The Peaceful Warrior. I took this example as a peaceful warrior who is called Dan in this movie, if anyone sees, because he is a real scholar warrior. And in the last couple of weeks, I read a book about this topic. And also Taoistmasters used to be scholar warriors. Why they were scholar warriors? Because they cultivated different knowledges. They were usually masters of martial art. They were masters of healing and philosophy, because they believed that only cultivating all these knowledges, they can capture the balance in their personality. In the movie Before the Accident, Dan also has a master, a philosopher, who is called in the movie Socrates. But it doesn't do anything with the real Socrates. And he even has a nickname that gives him a nickname, Soki. And Soki teaches to them very simple things. His teaching is not based on any structured knowledge. It's just based on something which is very easy to understand with the common sense. And this is very similar to Taoism as well. Soki tells to them, Dan, take out the trash. And by that he means that take out everything from your mind that takes you away from the most important thing, which is to be in the here and now. And what are those things which can distract us? What are those things which take us away from being in the here and now? Fear, first of all. Another thing is egoism, which can take us away, or obsession as well. if our mind is full of these behaviors, then we cannot be in the now. A scholar warrior has to be sure that he can win. He has to be sure that he will never be defeated, but in such a way that he knows that he is not any better than any others. He needs to solve this contradiction in his soul. And why? Why does he do this? Because he does what he does, because he believes that this is the only way that he can express his true personality. The scholar warrior is never egoist. He doesn't act for the acknowledgement. He only acts because he believes that what he does is something beneficial to him, for his personality. And in this way, he can reveal something from his true nature, and he can get to the harmony by being unified with the nature and with his own personality, being in the now, in this moment. Being egoistic is not a good way during the training, because if I believe that I'm any better than any others, then I can skip very useful trainings. Or during the training, I just cannot concentrate enough. I think that I'm better than the others, so I don't take care. I cannot be entirely united with the movement itself. These are the basics of the teaching what Dan gets from his master, from Soki. And the accident is actually his chance to utterly get rid of his own selfishness and obsession. After the accident, during the recovery period, he can start his training on the next level, on a higher level. And by the end of this progress, by the end of this recovery period, the most important that he really gets through closer to himself. He understands himself better on a deeper way. And by the end of the movie, Dan and his team is participating on a country competition. And one of his teammates, one of his peers approaches him and asks that, how did you do this wonderful performance that in terms of your accident, you are still participating on a country competition like a gymnast? The whole team is amazed on you. And I don't know what this philosopher did with you, but I really would like to get from that magic as well. And Dan tells to him that it's not a magic, Tommy. It's just getting rid of all the bullshit what you have in your head, what tells you that you might not be enough. It's not about your fear. It's not about the gold medal. It's not about what your dad tells about you. It's only about going there and doing what you need to do. All right? So you just get up, and when you go there, you don't think of anything. You are just united in the movement. And by the end of his monologue, in the radio, Dan's name is mentioned. They are calling him to make the performance, so he stands up, goes there, and makes the exercises. And by the end of the competition, he really wins the golden medal. This is the story of Dan Millman, which is a true story. And Dan Millman, actually in the second part of his life, wrote a book about himself. And this book is sold in millions of copies, and even there was a movie made of this wonderful story. And the book is also translated into 22 languages. I hope that you can read as well one day, or you can see the movie. That was my presentation about the Scholar Warrior. Thank you.